Good evening, everyone. Welcome, welcome, Samantha. Welcome, Becca. It's so funny. I was going to say Becca, and at the same time, I was looking at the word witchy, so you can imagine what almost came out of my mouth. Hey, bitchy. Hey, what's up, witches? It's me, Luna, back in Ohio after a wonderful break. It was so good to just go somewhere. So, and I'm just as glad to be back and very glad to be here with you tonight. I see somebody's hit the like button already. Please follow suit. Thank you so much. And if you're hanging out, if you're one of the 7 lurkers, please check in and say hello. I like to say your name and feel that connection with you, and it actually makes the readings a little bit better because I have, someone specific to connect to. I've got my iced coffee with heavy whipping cream. It tastes like Howard Johnson's coffee ice cream. The best coffee ice cream ever. I'll tell you, wow. So I went up to my sister's in near Grand Rapids, and it's the first time I've been to her house since she moved up from Florida in the middle of the pandemic. And saw my niece and nephew-in-law, I guess, and my great nephew. And hi, Stephanie, welcome. And it was great, and it was relaxing. We'd get up and hang out and go do a little this, and then come back home. It was very relaxing. There wasn't a lot of strenuous anything going on. But as of Thursday night, and especially Friday morning when I got up saying, I'm sick. Uh-oh, I caught something, I'm sick. Now, mind you, we were doing safe practices, of course, the whole time. But just this, that feeling you get like you're getting clobbered. And this went on for several days, and it was a reminder because I haven't had this type of flare in a while. It was a flare. It was a flare of my autoimmune conditions and the viruses that I have in my body. And hi, Patricia, welcome. Hey, I love the little emojis. But it was that reminder of, and I mean, it's been a long time since I've had it hit me to where, you're like, oh my God, I know I'm getting sick, I've caught something, and then it goes away. And then a day later, it's like, oh shit, I know I'm, glandy and just feeling like hell, but you never develop any symptoms except the achiness, the tiredness, and the oh shit, I'm getting sick feeling. So obviously, as I sit here, I have not caught anything. It was a flare. And I want to tell you guys, when I talk about these things, when I talk about the things I'm experiencing in my conditions and my, depression and the stuff that I have, it is not for sympathy. It's to normalize hearing about this stuff, because so many people have invisible illnesses. So many people. And so I want to normalize just talking about like the weather. How you doing today? I felt, my viruses are flaring up all over the place. And then we carry on, right? We modify our activity if we need to, and we do the things that we need to do to take the best care of ourselves. And we carry on. So, Krista, hello, welcome. So good to see you here. So I got hit with this kind of felt like Epstein Barr. It's been a while since I've been hit with that one, and just oof, lots of achiness, and then come back to lots of ragweed. But the thing that I want to talk about with the collective, I know what I call it. Hi, baby Joe. Good to see you, sweetie. Thank you, darling. Is depression, because we are collectively depressed. All right. Welcome to my territory. I've found myself, even when I was up north and, enjoying myself, I find that I don't, hi Sherry, welcome to you too, that I don't have a lot of preferences. Every night it would be, what should we eat tonight? I don't care. Well, should we do this or should we do that? Whatever you guys decide sounds great to me. Just this boy, I really would rather not have to make any decisions, you know? And I just really don't, it doesn't really matter. Is that depression? Not quite sure. I mean, it's a variety of depression. And I think what we're dealing with is kind of the energy of standstill. We've got, you know, planets moving retrograde, and this can give that kind of stall feeling, that standstill feeling. The feeling of just we've been hanging on and waiting and waiting and waiting. And we continue to wait. I was trying to think back to last, you know, the end of August last year and what it was like, what we felt like. I don't remember, because it's been this long thing. You know, we had yet to go into, well, no, I do remember what I was feeling like at the end of August, because I was shooting a video every day. So I was jamming, and it was like, we're going to get through this, and big energy and everything. And then after Samhain, well, you know what happened in November, I crashed. So we're all under this collective, just constant pressure. It's just this constant weight on top of us. So I want to just address that and validate that if you're feeling standstillish, it's because that's where we are. You know, things are critical. There are big critical things going on all over the place, and yet we just kind of tend to feel draggy. Or, you know, if you're finding that you're having an inability to feel things, you know, when you see this earthquake in Haiti and, you know, just terrible things that are going on, and you know, my compassionate heart goes, you know, sends energy and feels and everything, but me personally, kind of numb. At the same time, things really are moving. My sister came back down here with my niece, and the furniture that I had that was my mother's, her mid-century modern bedroom furniture, my niece now has, and it's gone, and all the whole stacks of framed artwork are gone. I don't have to worry about them anymore, and they've gone to where they're much wanted and loved, and so that energy is shifting. So, you know, while things are shifting, we're still in this kind of lockdown. You know, we're not locking down yet unless we're smart. So I just want to kind of address those energies tonight. That, you know, we're just sort of, I don't even know if I can describe it. So let's go on and do some readings, shall we? I think so, and I'm going to do something a little different tonight. One of the little different things I was thinking of is maybe sticking myself in the middle instead of on the side. What do you think? What do you think? Am I better in the middle or on the side? Ooh, I'm going to change my lights. Hold on. There. We can have a, wait a minute. Is that too dark? Oh, you can see the altar better. No, I like that. All right. Cozy. You can really see the colors in the altar. See, so this does show you, I you know, things are moving. I want changes. I want to change things up a little bit. So, okay, who else is here that I haven't said hi to? I think I've got you all that have checked in. I'm so happy to see you. This, you know, continues to be a high spot in my week and what I look forward to, and doing the prayer circles and spell circles as well. So, okay, yep. So what I'm doing tonight is I've got 2 decks by the same author and artist. And one of my favorites, Lucy Cavendish and Jasmine Becket-Griffith. And this is the Oracle of Shadows and Light. No, wait. Yes, I think this is Shapeshifters. And this is Shadows and Light. Oui? Oui. All right. So I'm looking at kind of, you know, just looking at the backs of the cards, and we've got this lock showing, you know, indicating that there's something that we need entry to, something we'd like to gain entry to, something we'd like to unlock. So this is a really internal thing. And then we've got these lovely little toadies with wings. So there's the external, and we'll just see how they work together. Alrighty, let's do a cleanse. Light up your sage if you have it. I offer you this sacred smoke. that you may be purified with air and charged with fire. So mote it be. Hi, Marcy. Welcome, darling. Yes, I love her decks. And I offer you salt water, that you may be blessed by water and by earth made whole. So mote it be. Let's have a bell for spirit. Take a moment, connect with your source, your spirit, your deities. And just let the bell call you into this moment, into your body. Awakening all the senses, clearing your energy space, clearing your mind. And calling the divine to awaken within you. Some things that I saw over the weekend or over the week, and since I've been home, is little yellow leaves floating down in the woods. And just the change of the angle of the sun is pretty profound now. There's all kinds of things changing. So, all right. Let's do a real quick grounding. All right. So in your body, feeling your skin, drop your root down from the base of your spine. Down, down, down. We're going to do it quick this time. Down, down, down. Feel it when it catches and holds into the earth. If you're really feeling spacey, send a runner out to each cardinal direction. And then let the earth energy come shooting up that root into your body. Feel it hit the base of your spine and just blast you. Just feel it. You know what it feels like when you're full. When the earth energy is filling you up, you can make it happen like that when you need to. Okay, let's let your breath out, a deep breath in. Cranking up the earth energy and exhale the breath, and we're going to shoot it out the crown next time. Inhale and out the crown. Letting it go up above your head and down around you, making a wonderful egg of light and protection, a screen and a filter. Give your guides permission to monitor this filter for you. Then we let the cosmic energy come pouring in the crown, down into the body. And you feel your body instantly filled up with it. And then you feel it travel out the base of your spine until it connects with the egg and up around the outside. Okay. So you can do, once you've done it, once you know, your body knows how to ground. You can go through the whole elaborate thing. And that is usually what's necessary in the beginning as you're starting. But once you've done that, then you can get there instantly. I need to be grounded. Okay, bam, just visualize it. Visualize that cord down, the egg already existing. There it is. Okay? Beef up your magic, you guys. Don't doubt yourselves. You can, and here's another reason I talk about the shit I put up with. Because you can be a traumatized, damaged individual. You can be an individual with illnesses of many varieties and still be a magical, powerful person. And vice versa. You can be magical, powerful, spiritual, connected, and have chronic illnesses that you deal with. These things coexist. It's not either or. So, again, I want to validate that for you. Alrighty, let's start with our, no. Let's start with offering the fire of Azrael to my decks. Oracle of the Shapeshifters, please receive this sacred perfume. of shadows and light. All right. Oh, the heavenly smell. Now, let's set our tone with the Astrodice. See what our kind of framework is for tonight. Thank you for your likes, folks. If you haven't subscribed, please do that as well. All right, we have Mercury in Taurus in the 6th. Okay, so the planetary energy for this week to focus on is your mental energy, your logistical energy. Mercury is your faculties of mind, and it's just the baseline functioning of your brain, not the higher functions, but the day-to-day functions. You're working through the day, communicating, thinking your way through, you know, what do I have to do today? Your lists of things. It's all that basic logistical functioning, which requires your intellect. Yeah. And that is in Taurus, which says practical. It says practical because it's Earth. We want to use that Mercury energy. Mercury is the ruler of both. Oh, it's in 9, not 6. I didn't see the little dot. Sorry. Okay. So Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. And as the ruler of Virgo, it's an earth sign. Taurus is an earth sign. So we're getting this very practical-minded vibe for this week, that you want to make sure you have things written down in lists, that you have a regimen to take care of your health, that you have things figured out logistically, just as far as your schedule, what I need to do today. And a list helps because then it takes the worry off of, am I going to forget something? So make yourself a list each day, check things off. It's very satisfying to check things off. And so it's using our mental faculties and our communication, our logistical planning in a very practical way, and also in a forward-looking way. Taurus is a fixed sign, so it says we're looking at what we're doing day to day with an eye to planning ahead, taking care of things ahead. So you're going to use mental faculties to be thinking, what about the next month? What's coming up? It's great to be in the moment, but truthfully, to be very functional in our lives, we need to be looking ahead and making sure that we're taking care of things and having a plan. Says the woman whose driver's license has been expired since August 1st. And it bit me in the ass 3 times in Michigan. Ouch, ouch, ouch. And I still have not gotten it done. I've gotten ready to go and couldn't push myself out the door. So I do believe tomorrow is the day I'm getting my new license. Because I have to do the, I want to do the travel compliant one, which means I have to take a lot of court records with me. I'm not going to, I won't give you the full story now. So, okay. Thank you, Sherry. I like being front and center too. And then 9th house here. This is where we go to the higher functioning. So this is having our practical mental faculties, our just, you know, the mind that gets us through, that negotiates our day for us. And the 9th house says with a broader perspective. So Taurus is practical and thinking towards the future, and in the 9th house it says with a broad philosophical, spiritual context, spiritual perspective. 9th house is the natural house of Sagittarius. So we're talking philosophy, spirituality, higher education, mass communication, foreign travel, you know, long distance travel, either over the sea or overnight, you know, things that you don't just do in a car in a couple of hours. So, broadening our minds in practical, forward-thinking ways and doing things that we need to do this week to really practice self-care on a daily basis. Kind of spiritual self-care and the logistics of that, the logistics of it, okay? All right. I'm going to give a little shuffle like that, and I'm going to give a little shuffle like that, and then I'm going to cut them both at the same time. How's that sound? Patricia, oh no. I think we're going to be visiting the BMV very soon here. Okay, now, We are in Virgo season, so my Virgos, here's your first up at first at bat. All right. We have the grumpy red fairy and the fairy bee. Be your true self, and life is sweet. And look at their faces. So Virgo, this is a reminder to unbunch your eyebrows to begin with. Just to smooth out your forehead and smooth out the muscles of your face. Unclench your jaw. This goes for everybody. Take a minute, unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders down. Okay, take a second here. Where are your shoulder blades on your back? See if you can roll them like up high and then back down low. When you roll your shoulder blades down low and let them sit there, your shoulders are in the best position and your neck is in the best position. This has relieved so much of my neck pain. So anyway, that goes along with unclenching your jaw, unfurrowing your brow, okay? I've caught myself going through the grocery store today with my hands on the cart like this. So let's loosen up the fists. So the call here, the grumpy red fairy says, be your true self, Virgo. Do not, uncompromised, unapologetic. Your true self, not the one that everybody expects you to be. The one that feels like home, the one that feels like me, okay? And let's find out why she's grumpy. Okay, she's number 8. Heavens to Betsy. Okay. To some people in this world, sadly but oh so truly, it is all about fitting in, all about playing by the rules, and because they put so many restrictions on themselves, they get very disapproving when others, like you and the grumpy red fairy, feel free enough to be themselves, to express themselves in exciting and dynamic and creative ways. Now, there's something else here, though. This is tension that is going on between people who are masking, vaccinating, all these things, and people that are not. And there's pressure from the outside to conform one way or the other. Whichever way you're doing it, you're bound to run into pressure the other way. So this is talking about being true to you, connecting with your knowing inside that tells you this is the way for me to go. This is what I need to be doing, both for yourself and for the greater good. And I want to give you those two words again, uncompromised and unapologetic. So that means you don't say, I'm sorry, when you're going against the grain. It means you don't say, okay, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm really sorry, you guys. I'm really sorry. Just practice oh so gently. You can say, I'm sorry. I regret that I cannot. But not like carrying this huge guilt for being who you are and not going with whatever. So the uncompromised part is not feeling like you're having to ignore part of yourself. You're having to give up who you are and ignore part of who you are in order to fit in. Now, you can go along with externals. We're talking about the difference between internals and externals here, right? This is the internals. It's saying that you've got to be true to yourself inside. So you also need to acknowledge the circumstances that you're in terms of how safe you are to be your true self. And ask yourself, if I do this way in this context, am I going to open myself up to criticism that I just don't need to hear? So there's that too. But the thing is not altering who you are. Okay? Not letting things take you off your center and think, well, I'm who I was wrong and I've got to change who I am. So it is talking about going through doing your best, the best you can, while you are connected with your true self. All right? And then the fairy bee, my life is sweet, says that, time to acknowledge and give some thanks. We're in late summer now, and if you're, who doesn't love summer? Even if it's hot, it's not my favorite season at all. It might be maybe my least favorite season, actually. But it's not like I don't like summer. I mean, the abundance of summer, the food is just incredible. And there's so much richness and sweetness to life at this time of the year. So time to acknowledge that as well, Virgo. And, you know, and rest in that being who you are. And remember this week, whatever context you go into, weigh out how much of yourself you would like to reveal to people. But whatever you're communicating, whatever you're doing, come from that place, however much you decide to reveal. All right? Okay. See, I like these because they give very... It's a good spiritual reading. Okay, Libras. Oh, I've got them all cattywampus. One moment while Luna undoes what she just did. Right. All right. That's a little better. Autumn is just around the corner. Oh, I'm so excited. So yes, my favorite time of year. All right, Libra. We have 3 witchy sisters. The power of 3 and Miss Spiderweb. Reconsider your alliances, make new connections. Okay, so 3 witchy sisters and making new connections. Those two very much go hand in hand. The power of 3, think about the law of threefold return in the craft, which says whatever you put out comes back to you times 3. And it's not 3 times, it's times 3. 3 times bigger. That's because karma is a wheel. Energy is a wheel. Everything is a wheel. The wheel of fortune. It turns. What goes around comes around. It turns and turns and turns. Everything is a cycle and a wheel. There are no straight lines in nature. Anywhere. And I'm talking as far as energy moving. So what you put out goes out, and then it starts having an effect. It affects people, it affects things, and as it goes out, it's kind of like a snowball effect. It gathers like energy to it. It has a magnetism to it, right? It gathers like energy to it. So by the time that wheel comes back to you, it's 3 times bigger. Now, different actions have different cycles. Some actions are very small and they come around very quickly. Some things are big, long, life things that take a long, long time to cycle around and come back. So there are all these different cycles of energy working in our lives. So be aware of that, the power of 3. Also, when you're asking your guides for help and things start popping up for you, little synchronicities, pay attention when things come up in 3s, okay? When you get hit with something the 3rd time. It's like you might hear something the first time, it goes on by. The second time, it's like, wait, that sounds familiar. The 3rd time is like, okay, wait. I've heard this 2 other times. The 3rd time is what really brings it into, wow, something's happening here, right? So pay attention to those kinds of things as well. But what we're talking about here is the power of 3 as far as connecting. And then we have Miss Spiderweb. Reconsider your alliances and make new connections. Okay, so time to kind of look at your circle. Who do you hang with? Who is in your inner circle? Bringing in the outside context of the collective right now. Think about your circle in terms of COVID, in terms of here are the people that I know and I trust. Hello, Tina Benino. Welcome, my dear. Who are the people that I trust? Absolutely. Who relies on me? Who am I relying on? That circle of 3 kind of sort of guarantees that there's always going to be somebody for somebody. If it's just 2, sometimes one person's down and the other person is kind of on their own. But if there's 3, there's 3 makes it a group. 3 makes it a group. So, do you have people that you work with? Do you have people that you do magic with? And if you do, Miss Spiderweb talks about reconsidering some things. Maybe there are some people in your circle that you're just thinking, I'm not sure I trust their practices. I'm not sure I'm going to want to be around them when things really kick off. So you can sort of whittle your circle down in terms of that. But also just looking on a magical level. All right, they just kind of went blank on me here. It's saying reconsider alliances and make new connections, but that's what I'm really getting, is about the, about pandemic stuff and people's behaviors. And if those are behaviors that you trust and that will keep you safe, all right? So, but then just be aware of the energies that you're putting out. Know, whatever you're working on this week, think about that power of 3. That law of threefold return. Anything that I'm saying, anything that I'm putting out there comes back times 3. So it makes you kind of stop and think about what you say, what you're going to say before you say it. Libra usually doesn't have that problem of blurting, and saying things unthinkingly. But still, this week, just be really aware of your intentions, what you really are putting out there, and if you're doing it with intent, understand that it comes back times 3. Okay? Oop. All right, Scorpios is flipping out already. Oh, and we got the 3 little witches again for Scorpio. But this time we have the fairy ring. New skills, advanced training, rapid improvements. Okay. And the 3 little witches here. Oh, this is 2 little witches. Oh. 2 little witches. And I don't remember what the 3 little ones said. The power of 3. Okay. So this is magical space clearing time for you, Scorpio. Ooh, this is ringing my bell as Scorpio rising. Magical space clearing is exactly what we've been doing. Getting rid of that furniture, it's time to lighten the load, folks. And Scorpio, it's so hard for you sometimes because you can see a use in everything, even a piece of trash. You're like, I can use that for something. And so you stick it away, and then before you know it, you've got a closet full of literal trash. And it's wonderful that you can see the use in things. And there was somebody, I found a great page on Facebook called Home for Peculiar Artists. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. And I gladly joined because it is so inspiring just to see what people are doing. And this one person was taking trash and making these absolutely magical, kind of semi-steampunkish creatures. Frogs, fish, they're just beautiful, and they were painted and everything, and it's like, this is the most scorpionic thing I've seen in a while. So, so look, Scorpio, at what you're keeping, and I think what the deal is it's time to use those things that you've been saving because you know how you can use them. It's time to use them or get rid of them. All right? So just put it to yourself that way. If you want to keep it, you got to make use of it somehow. The fairy ring, new skills, advanced training, rapid improvements. So talking about using that stuff, using the stuff that you've been storing away, using the stuff that, either use it or lose it willingly. And going into the things that you've been holding on to, there might be things that you haven't used because I need to gain a skill in order to use that. Now is the time to kick off and find that new skill. So focus in on that. And here's the other problem. When we talk about space clearing and, wanting to lighten the load for ourselves, you kind of think of all the things you need to do. I need to do this and this, and then, it gets overwhelming, and it's like, pick one. So if you can't intellectually pick one, just go to your stuff, find something that attracts you, pull it out and say, what can I do with this? And if you don't feel like doing something with that, move it along. Move it along. And if you do feel like doing something, if it inspires you, then it might be time to pull a new skill in. It's like the crochet I did early in the summer. I've tried to pick it back up again, haven't been successful. So, all right, Scorpio. Sagittarius is up next. Yes, Samantha, if your vibe is changing, your tribe may be changing, absolutely. Okay, Sag. Oh, we got the grumpy red fairy again. All right, I'm going to read a little bit more about her. Elizabeth and the Lion. Be true to yourself. It is time to become a great leader. All right, Sag. You know, you're a fire sign, and even though Leo and Aries take all the glory when it comes to pioneering and leadership and all that stuff, and Sagittarius ends up being the life of the party, you know, but you are a fire sign and you have leadership ability too. You have the ability to inspire as well. You have the ability to open up boundaries, open up your boundaries. So, being true to yourself, your fun-loving, adaptable, philosophical self, and looking at how you can lead some people. So, where are your skills uniquely called for right now, Sagittarius? Your humor, your philosophizing, you know, your ability to look at something and see it philosophically, see it in a broad context, you know, lighten it up. So I do want to look at the grumpy red fairy again real quick. When the grumpy red fairy comes to play, it may be time to really just be your own true self, whoever that is from day to day. Not a problem for Sag. Wear black. Experiment with your hair and your own personal style. Play the drums, join a rock band, just don't fake it. Don't smile and be sugary sweet and all nicey nice just because you think that's how you should be. Be real, authentic, be funny, be you, try different things, find out who you are. Then the smiles that do come will be genuine and will warm the hearts of all. Okay. So, and remember, these decks are kind of targeted towards middle schoolers and high schoolers, but that makes them simple and it's wonderful. So Sagittarius, again, time to just sort of dump your load and let yourself be your, you know, lighthearted and fun-loving this week, and use those times to show other people the way out, you know, the way out of the heaviness, the grumpiness, the stuckness. All right, this is where your personality is really called for, Sag. Okay, so let that bright light shine. Let your humor shine out. Your bluntness too, you know, Sag, where you see somebody just being like pedantic and with a good heart and with a compassionate will, but they're just being so stodgy and things need lightened up. Go ahead and lighten it up. Everybody needs it. We can all use it this week. Aight. All right, Capricorn. I gotta chug my coffee because I don't want to be finishing it at 10 o'clock. Oh, so good. All right. Shoop-a-doop. All right, Black Cat. Lost magic, atonement, rebalance. Ooh, okay. No, Grumpy Red Fairy. All right, I'm putting Grumpy Red Fairy out here because she just wants to come out for everybody. So, for everybody, her message, be who you are. I mean, I was going to cut the deck in a way different place. Capricorn was taking me to this side of the deck, and it split in the middle at the Grumpy Red Fairy. So she has more to say to us. She's being very insistent. Let's use up that energy now. Let's let her speak. I want to be me and be free without everyone giving me an opinion. I like being different. I won't be changing unless I want to. I don't need to change to fit in. I only need to be true to me. And the people who think I should be smiling or wearing a pretty dress and that I should stop messing with my hair, they can just deal with it. Some folks do grasp at tattoos, piercings, black clothes, or do gasp at tattoos, piercings, black clothes. Can you see the demographic here? But guess what? Some of the world's scariest looking people are the kindest and sweetest on the inside. You too are fiery, playful, defiant, and lots of fun. Be you, be rebellious even. Who's to say how you should look or behave? Conformists, that's who. Let's burst their boring bubble and go wild. All right. So that's for everybody, and I'm just going to set her back up here. So you can see her eyeball looking at you right there. Okay. Capricorn, we have Violet Duchess, stifled, bored, and stuck. And the Black Cat, lost magic, atonement, rebalance. All right, Capricorn, you are feeling the stuckness, as we all are. So, time to go magical. This talks about lost magic, atonement, and rebalance. Okay, atonement, if there's something that just needs, that you need to make amends, that's something that can be riding you and riding you and riding you and keeping you stuck. It might be something that isn't like critical. It's just a little something that maybe caused some bad feelings or a little bit of a awkwardness with a coworker or with a friend. And it's like, it's okay, everybody's over it, but it kind of just went by. And there's still this thing that comes after, that talks to you, you know? That's what it's talking about with atonement, is just saying, say it out loud. Talk to somebody and say, hey, you know, I just want to say this. You remember that time when blah, blah, blah? And I just want to explain a little bit and say, I'm sorry, you know, I'm sorry that it caused what it caused, and just, you know, I just wanted to let you know that. And then be done. And then be done. And that rebalances things. Atonement rebalances. You know, that's one of those words you can look at one-ment, you know. So looking at, sometimes when we have a tangle with someone or there's a rift, it's because we think that we want different things, but we're all really after the same things basically. The details can be different in any given situation or any given context. But the big things are always, we always want the same big things. Everybody wants validation, everybody wants love, everybody wants to be seen, everybody wants to be, you know, accepted. So think about that when you know, when you have a thing with people, think about from their side, and that's what can maybe take you to going, oh, I should probably say sorry about that. I have an example. When I worked for a company for, it was like 5 years or something, and I was in a management position that I didn't know what I was doing, and I was pretty much an asshole in the beginning. And then I learned. I got online and I learned my job. I went and looked up what the hell I was supposed to be doing, and I did it to the very best of my ability. And there was someone that worked under me, and you know, long after they were gone from the company and everything, we were friends. It's like no big deal. But we were talking, and I said, you know what? I have to tell you something. Back then, you know, I realized that I was an asshole, and I was being, you know, bossy and awful, and didn't know what my job and everything. So I just wanted to take the time to apologize to you for that. And she was like, wow, thanks. You know, it was like, well, I didn't, but you know, it also can let people know that I know what I was then, and I'm different from that now. I know better now. And that can deepen trust between people. When they know that you're looking at yourself and you're recognizing when you were off, you know, when you didn't know everything and were possibly causing harm, and you can apologize for it, acknowledge and apologize. It really clears the air and it deepens trust. So this week, Capricorn, look at what you can do to bring the balance back, and that might alleviate some of the stuckness. And stifled, bored, and stuck. The bored, think about this. No, there's no such thing as bored. There's just boring. If you're bored, it's because you're being boring. because you are boring, because you're not doing anything interesting. So it's up to you to either decide, I just don't want to be interested in anything right now, and maybe consciously meditate, be in the moment, that kind of stuff, or say it's time for me to take interest in something. It's not up to somebody else or the universe to just come and get my attention and delight me. You need to find out what it is to shift things. But the Black Cat says that that there's some magic that needs to be done, and there's also some atonement and balancing that needs to be done as well. All right. Oh, hey. This one didn't want to go back in the deck, so we will take this for Aquarius. You are unlike anyone else. Okay. We have a clockwork pumpkin. Ooh, a wonderful idea, the aha moment. And this one, your contradictions and complexities are interesting. So, Aquarius, big week for you. Something's going to drop in the slot. That penny's going to drop this week. And you're going to solve something big. You're going to have that moment where it's like, okay, I get it. I know what has to be done here. Aquarians are not short on wonderful ideas. But this one is one that solves a problem, not just random good ideas, right? Yeah, isn't it though? Isn't it though? You're unlike anyone else. Your contradictions and complexities are interesting. So one of the things that is my job as an astrologer when I'm looking at a chart is to find the conflicts in the chart. Everybody has them. In fact, if there's a chart without conflicts, it's probably someone that has, maybe some psychosis. When you see a chart that is radically out of balance, you're going to find a person that's radically out of balance. But what balances us is that we have different facets, and sometimes those facets are in direct conflict with each other. And so these are some of the things that really cause us a lot of stress in life. So Aquarius, you're used to letting your freak flag fly, but this week I want you to look at what your conflicts are and where do you find yourself in opposition to yourself. You're great at being in opposition to everybody else. But when what's happening when you find yourself in opposition to yourself? You find yourself battling with yourself. This is what I know I need to do, but I can't make myself do it. Or what I know I need to do, but I'm just not willing, Or I also need this other thing. I just uncorked my fresh water because I forgot to do that to my angels and ancestors and guides and guardians. See, I'm off, you guys. Anyway, Aquarius, look at where you're struggling. Look at where you're struggling with yourself, where you're in conflict with yourself, where you had this great idea, but it flies in the face of this great idea, or this is what I really enjoy, what I really want. Take a look at those contradictions and complexities. Let them show themselves to you, and then make some discoveries. Once you do, and sometimes while the grumpy red fairy talks about being yourself, being true to yourself and being who you are, sometimes we can get good information from other people about parts of ourselves that we don't really recognize. So if you've had some, people saying, you know what, you're really oppositional, you're really, maybe take a look at it. Instead of just immediately rejecting it, you don't know me, maybe look at it and say, okay, how am I possibly coming across in that way? How is that true? And you may find that it's not true at all and it's the other person's issue. Or you may find this person is being very, very honest with you and it's like, okay, well, what can I discover about this? And then you will have that aha moment that helps you change. You're a fixed sign. Fixed signs are powerful. We don't change easily, but we sure change well. When we decide it's time for change, we change, right? So this week, Aquarius, is for you to find maybe how change is calling you. And how you can kind of reinvent yourself in order to come more into accord with yourself, in order to maybe embrace your complexities. Okay. Pisces. Violet Angel, Breaking Dawn. Ooh. Right in here. And Artemis of the Forest. Look at this. Breaking Dawn. Now you are independent and free. All right, Pisces. This week, you can have a feeling that you have finally broken, like you've been swimming in deep water, underwater, and you're finally breaking through the water, breaking through the surface. Breaking Dawn. This is another aha. This says something is beginning. Something is dawning on you. Realizations. Now you are independent and free. Okay, so there's something here that you can free yourself of, Pisces. Hold on. I'm looking in too many places at once. Let's listen to what she says. There have been times recently when you felt you've lost your spark and that your physical body's been exhausted, almost as if you were born tired. Oh, Lordy. Okay, I got a Pisces moon. This is hitting me hard. It has been a long night of the soul, but now I'm here to let you know that not only has the worst passed, the best is on the horizon. It is faint and it is gathering energy, but it is on its way. Soon, with this new dawn, your energy will begin to flow again, and you'll feel reconnected to your own internal power source once more. Your spirit will blossom, your intuition will hum. Please awaken earlier and be ready to begin our work on this new project by spending time outside in nature in the early morning. Okay, so that in-between time that's calling you now, Pisces, is dawn. Maybe pre-dawn, to watch the sun come up and let it come up inside you, you know? And as you do, you know, the realization here can be where you have sort of kept yourself trapped. And the grumpy red fairy's calling again. Where have you turned yourself inside out to please somebody else until you don't recognize yourself? Where have you been so compassionate and empathic with someone else that you now can't distinguish your feelings from theirs? Where are you enmeshed and starting to feel resentful because you need to say no? That's the dawning that's going to happen here, is that it's in your power to take it back, to be who you are, be true to yourself, and have that feeling of freedom and independence. And I'm hearing that it doesn't matter what you need to say. It doesn't matter. Okay, let's say there's a relationship, and it feels like a casual relationship that just isn't serving us or that isn't going to serve us. Okay, best example now, somebody's not being safe and going out to big gatherings without masks and stuff like that, and you're not feeling safe. But, you know, but I feel like I have to, you know, they always did this, and I feel like, ugh. Okay. This is where you just do whatever you have to do it easily. Hey, listen, I'm not going to be available until what, or I'm going into personal lockdown again. I just don't feel safe. So, you know, I'll see you. Set the boundary and then feel that sense of independence and freedom. All right. Realizations, Pisces. Let them surface. Now we're to Aries. And I am hot flashy. Time for some more fire of Azrael. Good smells can Heal a multitude of wounds. Okay, looking at messages here. We did not come here to fit in. We came here to stand out. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Aries. Strange Valentine. Love is strange. And Quetzalcoatl, the priestess of time. Ooh, the time has come. The time to act is now. Ooh, Aries. Lightning is striking here. There's something that you're kind of going head over heels for, and it's not necessarily a person. Something catches fire this week. The time has come. The time to act is now. There's something that you've been sort of waiting to jump on. Whether it's an opportunity or just something new that you want to do or try, or, you know, it could be with a person, but it's saying that you're being drawn to something. You've really been drawn to, and it's like, ooh, I get so excited about this and I could just fall in love with it. And Quetzalcoatl says, act on it. The time to act is now. So let's look up Strange Valentine. You have an enormous amount of cosmic help at the moment, and it's all focusing on the area of your love life. You will soon receive very good news regarding a relationship. You'll also do a lot of work on healing old wounds from past relationships, especially past long-term serious relationships. Now, some of this news may not seem so great at the time, but please give yourself a chance to absorb the lessons, because you're moving into a beautiful new phase of your romantic life, where you will be free to create a wonderful new love life for yourself, coming very soon. Now, does this mean a relationship with someone else? Not necessarily. It just means love in your life. Maybe you're falling in love with your own life. Maybe this is something where you're realizing, you know what, I'm happier on my own and I don't need a relationship now. And that's the big realization, and you just allow yourself to fully fall in love with your own life without the need for a partner, without that need. Whatever it is, the time, and I like this, that the love is strange. A strange Valentine doesn't necessarily mean your soulmate or a love match or somebody you're dating, right? It can be this love affair with an author, you know, a series, an album, just your life, your spiritual practice, something that really calls you into enthusiasm, that opens up your heart, that makes you feel that feeling of being in love, which is, I mean, how does it feel when you're in love with somebody? It feels, it's a bond, you know? It's a bond. It's exciting. It's tingly. And it calls you out. It calls you forward, you know? It pulls you. You can't wait to see. You can't wait until you see that person smile. You can't wait to hear their voice. So how can you relate this to your life now? Things that, and you know, the book was saying that you might find out some stuff about old relationships that can help you kind of get rid of old crap and understand, integrate those lessons. But I think now, this week, it's just more about having a love affair with your own life. And if you're feeling, especially if you're feeling stuck and stagnant, what are the things that you love? What are, you know, go back to the music of a time in your life when you were in love. What music makes you feel like that? Go back and generate that feeling for yourself. But the thing is, it's now. The time is now, now, now. Okay? And now Taurus is flying out of the deck. And Taurus, we've got a clockwork pumpkin for you as well. Big aha. Kitsune. The wonderful idea, the aha moment, and I will show you whom to trust. All right, I'm going to read her. This deck is so wonderful because the first two cards are my daughter and my son. Okay. Kitsune, this one is my son. I will show you whom to trust. It's a Japanese word for a fairy-like fox or spirit being who shapes itself into the form of a fox. Okay, she says, trust me, people say. Over here they beckon. I love you, others croon. But who of all these beings seeking what you possess speaks the truth? I, Kitsune, can hear their true voice, and I can see the consequences of their plans before they have a chance to unfurl. While it can hurt to know the truth, it is best to know the heart of those who would win your trust, your love, your resources. These precious gifts of yours need to be protected. Your tender self must only be given where you will be honored. There are some who wish to deceive and manipulate you, and yet you do not know who they are. By welcoming me in for a time, I will act as a powerful undercover agent, and I will expose the tricks and falsehoods of others. I will never advise you to be false, but I will clearly signal to you when to stay silent, whom to avoid, and situations that need not be your concern. I may appear in the guise of a helpful stranger or an insightful encounter, or as I do here in this card. Regardless of my form, I'm your friend. I will tell you the truth and show you where the trickster plays. All right. So it's talking about a series of coincidences. This is talking about your guides, you guys. This is talking about your guides, letting your guides be that filter for you, letting them show you whom to trust and show you where trust is misplaced. They're talking about a series of coincidences, but what, like I've said this before, when I look at, baby witch groups and stuff, and everybody's like, I'm having this real bad problem with this, how do I do this? How do I do, what spell? What do I need to buy? What do I need? It's like, just talk to your guides. Talk to your guides and say, please, please help me here. I need your help. Please tell me if this person is to be trusted or not. And you might have a bit of a blind spot as far as that goes. Let's see. So yeah, these two together, the aha moment and I will show you whom to trust, says that you might have a bit of a blind spot now about someone that's around you, that you just don't see them for what they're doing. Perhaps this person has some trauma of their own, like we all do. They have their own issues that they're projecting onto you. But it's making it so you really cannot trust them. Your trust in them is misplaced, that if you open yourself to them, it's going to be, you'll have some disillusionment coming, all right? So that's why you get your guides working on it, and you can call upon Kitsune, the fox spirit, and just say, please, angels go before me, right, Samantha? And tell me where I need to be wary. Tell me where someone is too much in their issues to be fully available for me right now, all right? And wait then, because there will be an aha moment of just realizing someone's behavior over time and just going, oh my God, oh my God, I never thought of that. This has happened to me in the past with having people tell me there's somebody around me that's jealous. And I remember in particular this one time, and it's like, because I tend to be way too trusting. I just trust people, and like, and especially when I hold somebody up, on a pedestal, when I admire them, when I respect them, then I don't see their faults. This is the Pisces moon, rose-colored glasses. And being told kind of repeatedly from several different sources, somebody around you is really jealous, and it's like, I cannot figure out who this is, and they're showing themselves to me, and I'm like, no, that's not it. But then realizing, yeah, that is it, and they don't behave that way towards me. That doesn't mean they don't feel it. And having that aha moment and just going, oh, I mistook a friendship there. I thought that was a friendship, but it really wasn't, and it's just kind of a revelation. It can be a disappointment, but it will certainly be an aha moment. So this week, Taurus, just look at everyone that's around you. Call on your guides to show you just where to be careful. Where to be careful, where to be wary, where you just need some more information. And you will feel it in that, oh, I didn't, oh, okay. Okay. That is Gemini. No clockwork pumpkin again. The dress of alchemy. Release your power. And we have the Mermaid of Immersion, complete commitment. Ooh, okay. So Gemini, ooh, this is a perfect one. This one really feels like it's in the slot for me. So your power this week is in commitment, Gemini. You are so versatile, versatile to a fault. Adaptable, changeable, versatile are the three key words for mutable signs. And that's you. You know, you're mercurial. Mercurial, you quicksilver, you flow. We flow around things. You can just change your shape any moment. So very adaptable. But that can make it so you don't commit to things. You want to keep your options open. Yeah, but I could still do this. Well, maybe I can do both. I can do both, right? I can do both. This is saying it's time to commit to something. So your power lies in getting rid of the distractions and the things that are there just for variety's sake. And committing, focusing in, making a commitment. Commitment is emotional. I had this realization, I don't know when it was, I think it was a Hogwarts thing, but this realization that commitment is in the realm of water. Commitment is when we don't do it according to how our feelings are, where we say, I'm going to do this regardless of whether I feel like it or not. That's commitment. Okay, when you think about commitment in a relationship, when you commit to a relationship and a person, all kinds of emotions can happen, but it doesn't change the commitment. You can be just as committed and pissed off, you know, committed and hurt, committed and happy. Commitment is something that doesn't change with your emotional climate, all right? So, and doesn't change with your shifting thoughts and your need for variety. So Gemini, if you're having a hard time committing to something that needs commitment, then look at what you can do to take care of the squirrel in the cage. You know, let that squirrel go off and do something else while you continue to do the things you need to do to keep up with your commitment. So again, if you're having a hard time sticking to it, if your mind is taking you in too many directions, maybe you need to go back to like our Astrodice here and look at what you can schedule, what you can make a list of, just to keep yourself on track. And giving yourself breaks, giving yourself, you know, whatever fluidity you need to you know, serve your need for variety and change, and so you don't get bogged down, but also that will allow you, you know, it won't be a distraction to pull you up, it will allow you to continue what you're doing. So what I'm getting for you, Gemini, is this week it's a conscious act of committing, the conscious act of I am going to do this thing. Amen. You know, so mote it be. That kind of commitment, a vow. And I mean this, release your power. When you commit to it, it gets done. The thing is done when you commit to it. Right? When you promise. And I want you to remind yourself of what you've done in the past that you've committed to and things that you've carried out where you've carried things through. All right? You've seen it through and you've followed through with a commitment. Remind yourself of your ability to do that because it's called for now and it will take you into some serious power in a situation. just kind of thinking about it like a work situation where everybody's like kind of going, I don't know, but will somebody do, and if you stand up and say, I'll do it, you gain power in the situation, all right? Cancer. Fairy of the Divine Hand. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. All right, Cancer, we've got You Are Unlike Anyone Else, but we also have Fairy of the Divine Hand, Intoxication, Distorted View, Overindulgence. So beware, beware, Cancer. The stuckness, the stagnation, the fear, all the stuff we've been going through collectively may have been really taking a toll on you to the point where you're looking to escape a bit and might be doing some overindulgence. I have Venus in Cancer, and it's not like really strongly placed. So I don't have a lot of Cancer influence in my chart, but I have gained so much weight, and you know, they talk about the COVID-15, and yeah, it's totally there. It's been really hard to stay on track and to remember to do the things that make me not feel like shit, you know? So Cancer, if you're feeling, if you're overindulging, it's time to face something head on. It's time to really look at it for what it is, to, you know, tear the veil away, confront it face to face, open up, see it for what it is, because the overindulgence says that we are kind of running from something. We're sort of running. And I understand. And the contradictions and complexities are interesting. So there's a contradiction that needs to be dealt with here, and you know, the complexities of who you are. Okay, change is natural good. Yes, it can hurt. I saw that in there. So just look at your habits this week, Cancer, and look at how you can go back to the habits that make you feel the best. We're certainly, it's not simple. This isn't a simple time we're living in. There's so much complexity going on for all of us. Things are, it's like this weird push-pull where things are just same. We're waiting. We're in a holding pattern. That's what it is. We all feel like we're in this holding pattern. We're waiting to get back to normal. That's not ever going to happen, you guys. Normal has changed. Everything has changed. And in order to cope with that change, we might be just indulging. We're going for that instant gratification. I need something sweet. I need it right now, you know. And it makes you feel so good. You know, your brain reacts to sugar like heroin. And so we need to really acknowledge where we're kind of bailing out on ourselves in that way. And, you know, you get hit with it when the pain comes, you know, when the stomach starts to hurt or the joints start to hurt, or you wake up with a hangover again, or, you know, things like that, or you're gaining weight and it's just like, oh my God, what's going on? Well, time then to look at our complex lives and really just come to terms with them and embrace what's going on now. You know, when you step into something, you're in the power position. As long as you're running away, you can't do anything to fix anything. So your uniqueness, Cancer, time to embrace that. Look at what you've done in the past to really take good care of yourself and see what you can do to get away from the overindulgence and the running away in order to sort of embrace the complexities of life now and deal with things with a little more intimately. Okay. And then we're on our last one. We're on Leo. Leo also has the dress of alchemy, release your power. And here we get deep dark sea mermaid, find solutions in the unknown places in the darkness. Okay, Leo, sun babies, time to go inside this week. Time to do some spell work, really. I mean, you can pray, and there's something here that specifically that needs to be dealt with in a magical sense, a very specific thing. A lot of times we can work in general in our lives, and it's like, this is the prayer circles, generating good energy, putting it out for everyone. It goes through your body first, and it lifts your life up, and then you trust. I trust my guides. I trust that everything's in the flow. But I'm feeling like this week you need to do something more specific about a very specific situation. Find solutions in the unknown places, in the darkness. That means inside. So whatever you're feeling really stuck with, it's time to meditate on it. It's time to, the meditation I'm seeing in my mind is in a dark room with a door in front of you. And what's behind that door is the solution. What's behind that door is the solution that you didn't even know you needed. And you let yourself meditate and generate that feeling of sureness that the answer I'm looking for is behind that door. And then take yourself and open the door and see what's in there. Because release your power says that there's something that you're kind of letting the universe handle, when actually you can do something more about it. And I know exactly what it's talking about. So think about situations where you're like, I'm trusting, but it's like I said, it's something very specific that you just need to turn the wheel a little bit on. All right? You should know what it is as I'm saying it to you. That the thing that you're just sort of waiting and trusting somebody else, it's time for you to take the wheel in a magical sense and do some spell work. Acknowledge how much power you have to influence things, and go into that deep place looking for that solution, okay? Because it's there for you. All right. Interesting. Those decks are interesting together. All right. I want to see now. I think I'm going to grab something else. Hold on. I'll go to Robin Wood. And let's just look at this week as far as, the elephant on the planet is the coronavirus. And I want to see what this week holds for us. I'm still really feeling like once we're into the first couple weeks of September, it's going to be full swing lockdown again, watching it come up every day, watching it, Australia's in lockdown. They're saying that this fourth surge, Samantha's talking about the cards, yes, that this fourth surge is going to be like the worst yet. And the thing is, it's hitting children now. This Delta variant is really hitting the children who have not been vaccinated. Oh my God. Okay, look what flipped out of the deck, everybody. Death. There it is. And I just dropped a clump on the floor. Hold on. Ugh. Pick them up. All right. Let's see what else we have here. Holy mackerel, Andy. Okay, so we have 4 majors here. The death card comes out of the deck. That tells me the deck understands what I'm asking about. On one side here, we have hopefulness. Okay, this is the people that are doing their best and working hard to spread the word, to encourage people to vaccinate. They're doing best practices, masking and washing hands and, distancing and all that kind of stuff. The star says that gives us hope. And the Magician says it's basic skills. What gives us hope is just doing the basics that we need to do to stay safe. And the hell of it is that we know what we have to do, and it's simple. It's really simple, doable things, but what we're dealing with is toddlers, traumatized toddlers that cannot get past their emotions. So remember when we were talking about commitment, meaning that your emotions are set to the side and you just do what you have to do. And commitment is also because I have an emotional investment in this now. I have put a lot of emotion into this, and I want the payoff. There's a payoff I'm going for, and that payoff is usually satisfaction, just the satisfaction of accomplishment, of knowing I'm doing my best, that sort of thing. So here we have the Page of Cups. This talks about taking care of ourselves emotionally. It talks about spiritual practice, the basis of taking care of yourself emotionally, which is spiritual practice, right? Doing a practice that helps you stay on an even keel. Learning a practice. The pages can talk about the basis, the basic level of energy, the entry into. So this talks about really starting to understand your own feelings and how they work as far as making your life easier or harder, So taking a look at ourselves and seeing where we kick up our feet, and seeing so many people that have no say over their emotions. The emotions run the show. They are caught in an emotional storm with one thing or another, and that just runs the whole show, and they don't have the ability to see themselves in that situation. They don't have the ability to say, I'd rather not be that way. I'd rather be another way. I was talking to, can't remember who I was talking to, but we were talking about just anger, getting caught in anger and just having it take over you. And saying, getting to a place where somebody does something, pisses me off, and then I'm digging in, feel myself digging in and hell-bent on revenge, because remember, I'm Plutonian. And just like, and I'm not going to talk to somebody, and walking around with a grump and feeling this high and mighty attitude, and then just going, do I want to feel this way? Do I really want to feel this way? This is stressful. I don't want to feel this way. And then making the choice and just going, and letting that go. Letting it go, shifting the mood and going, hey, and coming back. No attitude at all. I have an example. My husband and I, when we were up in Michigan, there was a plan that we were trying to work out, and it involved multiple cars and who's driving here and who's going to what and come back. And my sister and I were working it out. My husband was standing there, and we worked it out. And he was standing right there. I was looking at him. We worked it out. And then it's like, okay, that's what we're going to do. And then he went outside. And when I came back out and said something about it, he was like, well, what are we doing? Well, we're doing this. Well, you never told me that. I'm like, you were standing right. So it was like, you were standing right. And we kind of started to ratchet up, both of us. And he was saying something, and I turned around, and he was like, oh, you're going to walk away? And I thought, yes, I'm walking away. And I walked away, and I adjusted my attitude. And I waited a little while, and then I went out and said, okay, we're back to plan A. And plan A is no. Without any, without any attitude. So that's what you're doing with emotional energy, is you're taking the energy of the emotions, and you need to move that energy one way or another. But you can move it just by going, I'm going to let that go. I'm not going to grab it and wind it up. You can lose your attitude like that if you choose to. So that's talking about learning yourself emotionally, learning how to take hold of it and to become aware in that emotional moment that you have a choice, all right? Seeing it from a different perspective, that's the Hanged Man. Knowing that you have the choice in any moment to say, I can look at this a different way. I don't need to spend that emotional energy. I don't need to feel that way. I can choose to feel a different way. Now, if you're pissed off, like super pissed off, You got to get that energy through your body. So I'm going to show you something. Donna Eden is an energy medicine practitioner, and she does this thing. You do it standing, but you stand and you start like this, like plant your feet and your hands are here. You take an in-breath and the hands come up like this, and then you, so you inhale up and then rush the energy down the front of your body, and your hands go like this when you hit the bottom. Do it 3 times or more if you need it. It moves anger energy through your body instantly, and then gives you choice. All right? So that's what I'm seeing here, is we're looking at, you know, we're faced with death again, and this time it's the children. It's the children and the people who cannot be vaccinated that are suffering. They're telling me 2 more. Ooh, look at the swords. So on this side, we've got Mr. Stubborn. We've got the bastard, you know, talking about people digging into their attitudes. But then the Page of Swords says, but let's look at it this way. You know, Page of Swords holds up the truth, brings the truth in, and it can dispel all this stuff. All right? Using the intellect in order to change the mind. You know, you have mental agility. This is mental dig-in. I can't change. I can't change. How many times have you heard people say that, or you say it yourself? I just can't change. I am who I am. I can't change. Why? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It starts in small ways, and when you practice those small ways, they become very, very big. They can have a huge impact in your life. So this talks about going on the side of mental agility, changing your mind, changing your perspective, thinking of things in new ways. The 2 pages showing up says we need to get back to basic skills with our mind, how we use our mind and how we use our emotional energy. Okay, because we're kind of digging in. All right, so time for a change of perspective. Hope punk. It's easy to get hopeless. So this was a Hogwarts thing. It was, I can't remember where I found it, something on the internet, but it was a hashtag hope punk. And hope punk means continuing to hope even when things are seeming hopeless. Hoping beyond all hope. Just doing it as a radical act of hope and trust in spirit. Okay? All right. Thank you, those cards, for shooting out of the deck. That gave us a really good ending reading there. I hope you guys have an excellent week, and I will see you on Saturday for a prayer circle, and I will see you on Friday for an unboxing. I've got some really cool decks to unbox. You want to see? You want to see? So yesterday was Tarot of the Abyss. I think I'm going to do this one on Friday, the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. I had never heard of it before. So good. Then we have Crystal Power Tarot, and we have Beauty Horror Tarot. The Beauty of Horror. The Beauty of Horror Tarot. So my daughter went nuts and bought me a bunch of decks. So, and I bought a couple of decks too. So there we go. All right, you guys. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm really feeling like I'm going to be throwing some more live streams here and there, just for shits and giggles, like during the day randomly, you know, just because I want to hang out with you. So set your notifications. Please hit subscribe and hit the bell so you'll know when I'm alive. And hit the like button on your way out, please, and thank you. Yes, Tarot of the Abyss was gorgeous, and it reads really well, too. Oh, wait, there's another one. Wait till you see this one. Oh, yeah, baby. That deck made me go look for a Dracula documentary last night, and I found one, and the guy that plays Dracula is the guy that played Dracula on Buffy. It's the best. All right, you guys. All right, thanks for hanging. Fireworks. What the fuck? That's got to be Dick's Stadium up on campus. There's fireworks going off. I don't know if you can hear him or not. Anyway, take care. I will see you on Saturday or for one of the unboxings or something random. All right. Blessed be you guys. Luna out.